Dear friend, I see it in your eyes, the quiet struggle, the weight in your chest, the racing thoughts, the heart that longs for stillness. You've come here today searching not just for knowledge, but for something deeper, for peace. And I welcome you, not just as a seeker, but as a companion on this journey, a journey toward understanding fear and moving beyond it, together, fear. Such a small word, yet it holds so much power in our lives. It takes many forms. Sometimes it appears as anxiety before change. Sometimes it hides in doubt, whispering that we are not enough. At other times, it roars as panic, grief, or the terror of loss. We fear failure, rejection, pain. We fear uncertainty, aging, death, even success. But today, I want to share with you something precious. Not to take fear away, but to show you how we can sit beside it, look into its eyes with the light of mindfulness, and recognize that it too, like everything else, is impermanent. That with the right understanding, even fear can become our teacher. Let us begin, together, with a breath. Inhale slowly, and as you breathe in, know that you are alive. Exhale gently, and release just a little of the weight you carry. This is how we begin with presence. Fear lives in the future. Mindfulness lives in the now. And it is only in this moment that we can begin to heal. When the Buddha sat under the Bodhi tree over 2,500 years ago, he too faced fear. In fact, it is said that as he drew nearer to enlightenment, the demon Mara came to tempt him. Mara sent visions of terrifying armies, storms, seductive illusions, every trick of the mind to pull him away. But the Buddha did not run. He did not fight. He simply sat, calm, grounded, watching, breathing. When Mara's greatest weapons were exhausted, the Buddha reached down and touched the earth. He did not respond with violence nor denial. He responded with stillness and truth. And Mara vanished. You see, my dear friend, fear is like Mara. It arises in the mind. It spins its illusions. It grows when we resist it. But when we sit with it, truly sit with open awareness and a gentle heart, it loses its power. You don't need to fight fear. You need only to understand it. There's a beautiful story from the life of the Buddha. One day, a monk named Bodhi was heard often saying, "Ah, what bliss! Ah, what bliss!" Some other monks became suspicious, thinking perhaps he was indulging in worldly pleasures. But the Buddha, with his great compassion, asked Bodhi gently, "Why do you say these words?" And Bodhi replied, "Before I became a monk, I was always surrounded by guards and luxury, but I was never at peace. I feared assassination, betrayal, war. I never knew true rest. Now living simply in the forest, I sleep under trees and eat only what is offered. But I am free. No more walls, no more guards. I have found inner peace. That is why I say, ah, what bliss!" You see, it wasn't the forest that made Bodhi free. It was the absence of fear in his heart. He had replaced attachment with contentment, replaced control with surrender, and in doing so, found a peace deeper than any palace could offer. Many of us live in fear because we believe we must control everything. But Buddhist wisdom teaches us to release the grip of control and trust in the flow of life. Impermanence is not our enemy, it is our greatest ally. Because everything changes, fear too shall pass. Nothing, not even suffering, is eternal. Once, the Buddha told a story of a man being chased by a tiger. In his panic, the man falls over a cliff and grabs onto a vine. Hanging between the tiger above and the abyss below, he sees two mice, one white, one black, gnawing at the vine. Just then, he notices a wild strawberry near him. He plucks it, tastes it, and smiles. How sweet it is! The tiger represents danger. The mice represent time, day and night eating away at life. Yet in that moment, the man finds joy. He chooses mindfulness over fear. That strawberry, though small, was enough. And so I ask you, dear one, what strawberry are you missing today, caught up in fear? What beauty is already present that you cannot see because your mind is lost in what might happen? Come back to now. Breathe again, gently, fully. Here, there is no future. Here, there is no past. Only this breath, only this moment. And in this moment, fear cannot survive. Fear thrives in ignorance. But wisdom brings light, and Buddhist teachings offer us powerful tools: mindfulness, compassion, loving kindness, and the deep realization of anatta, the non-self. Many of our fears come from clinging to an idea of me, mine, and I. We fear for our ego, our status, our possessions. But when we see that the self is like a mirage, constantly shifting, we begin to loosen our grasp. When there is no solid I to protect, fear diminishes. This doesn't mean we don't care. It means we don't attach. We love fully, without clinging. We act wisely, without obsession. We plan mindfully, without being enslaved by outcomes. There was once a Zen master named Hakuin, who lived a life of purity and meditation. One day, a young girl in the village became pregnant. When her parents pressed her to name the father, she falsely accused Hakuin. Her parents confronted him with rage. What did Hakuin do? He said only, "Is that so?" When the child was born, the baby was brought to Hakuin. He took the baby in and cared for it with love. A year later, the girl confessed the truth. Ashamed, the parents came to reclaim the child. Hakuin handed the baby over and again said, "Is that so?" You see, he had no fear of blame, no attachment to praise. His mind was not caught in fear of what others thought. His actions were rooted in compassion, not ego. When we let go of the need to defend a fixed identity, we become free. Fear loses its grip because we are no longer bound by the illusions of pride and possession. Do you see how liberating this is? You are not your fear. You are not your past. You are not even your thoughts. You are the awareness beneath them, the stillness observing, the light shining through the clouds. Let us return again to the breath. Inhale, feeling the coolness of the air. Exhale, and let go. Like waves on the ocean, thoughts rise and fall. But you are not the wave. You are the ocean. A woman once came to the Buddha in great sorrow. Her child had died, and in her grief, she could not accept it. She begged the Buddha to bring the child back to life. The Buddha said, "Bring me a mustard seed from a household where no one has known death." The woman went from house to house. In every home, she heard stories of loss of fathers, mothers, sisters, sons. At last she returned, empty-handed, but transformed. She had realized that suffering and loss are part of life. Through this understanding, her fear and denial softened into wisdom. And this, dear one, is the path. Not the escape from fear, but the transformation of fear through wisdom. Sometimes, our fears feel so real. And yes, some are rooted in genuine difficulty, illness, financial hardship, rejection. But even then, the mind makes it worse. It tells stories, spins worries, and chains us to outcomes. Mindfulness invites us to drop the story and come back to what is. Just this breath. Just this step. One of my teachers once said, "Fear is a ghost. Its power lies not in its reality, but in our reaction. We feed it when we run from it. But when we face it with kindness, it fades. So how do we practice this practically? First, awareness. Notice the fear. Label it gently. Ah, this is fear. Like a kind friend, you acknowledge it without judgment. Second, acceptance. Allow it to be there. Don't push it away. Say, "It's okay. You are welcome here." Third, investigation. Ask gently, where do I feel this in my body? What am I believing right now? You may find the root is an old wound, a forgotten memory, or a false belief. And finally, nurture. Hold the fear with compassion. Imagine it as a small child scared, unsure. What would you say to comfort that child? Say it to yourself. Over time, with gentle presence, fear loses its control. Like Mara, it bows and leaves. My dear friend, you are stronger than your fear. Not because you fight it, but because you understand it. The Buddha never said we would live without difficulty. He said that with awareness, we can meet any difficulty with peace. Let go of the need to know everything. Let go of the illusion of control. Trust the unfolding. A lotus does not bloom by trying harder, it opens when the time is right. And your path, too, will blossom in its own season. Now, I ask you to reflect. What fear has held you back? What step could you take today not to conquer the fear, but to walk with it mindfully? Perhaps it is speaking the truth you've hidden, or forgiving someone, including yourself, or simply breathing right now and allowing what is. Every moment is a new beginning. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not lost. You are arriving. You are not your fear. You are the light that sees it. As we come to the close of this gentle reflection, I invite you to take this piece with you. Not just as an idea, but as a way of living. A way of breathing, walking, loving. Remember, every time you return to the present moment, you are free. And if this sharing has touched your heart, if it has brought even a drop of stillness to your day, I invite you to stay connected. This space, this channel, is here for you. To guide, to inspire, to remind you of who you truly are. Please subscribe to this channel, Buddha's Wisdom, so that we may continue walking this path together. Let us build a community of mindfulness, kindness, and courage. Let us awaken. Not alone, but side by side. And now, with a final breath, may you be safe. May you be free from fear. May you walk gently on this earth, knowing that the wisdom of the Buddha lives within you. Thank you for being here. Namaste.